Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video right here on Bitcoin. Your daily update this morning on Bitcoin. I'm going to do a full update on the technicals. Yesterday we did have some good moves, as expected as well. If you watch my video, what I said yesterday is that I thought it was most likely that we would move to the upside. Since Bitcoin was very nicely respecting the bottom of the value that is forming right now, which we'll talk about that a little bit later, because the value that is forming right now, I think it's pretty crucial to talk about that and to understand that and to understand what that means for the potential price action. But no, got that beautiful move up, rejected at the value area high, so that's another confirmation that Bitcoin at this point of time, and that's also quite logical, right? I mean, I've yapped about this quite often in the last week, but we're getting into real summer market, right? I mean, August is by far the most quiet month in the year in terms of the full month. Of course, during New Year's and Christmas, it's also relatively quiet, but still, August, almost the entire month, is relatively quiet, right? So it's not necessarily strange that Bitcoin is respecting the balance, the range right here. Which is a sign of stability, right? It's a sign of lack of movement, and that's also, I think, reflected with the volume. We see a little bit of volume coming in every US session, so that's also going to happen over the course of today. But then that ebbs away again at the end of the US session, and right now, during the Asian and the European session, we barely see anything, right? But okay, so Bitcoin itself, right? There's a couple of things I think you need to know about, and a couple of things I think you need to be ready for. We had balance up here with bearish fundamentals. We shifted down to balance down here. And now it seems to me that there's a bit of a bullish bias, right? And that's for multiple reasons. First of all, the support touches we get are much stronger than the resistance touches we get, especially right now. Right, you could still argue that that Monday and Tuesday it looked a little bit more bearish, but now, and I think also guided by the fundamentals around the market, which we'll talk about in a brief moment, don't worry, I'm a little bit more bullish on Bitcoin, but still, look, this shift from balance, so from up here to down here, means something, right? It means that the fundamentals changed and buyers and sellers agreed on a different price. So, and those fundamentals, I mean, last week we all remember them, the fundamentals were quite bearish, and just in general, it seemed like the momentum in the crypto market after all the massive news that we had in July was flowing away a little bit. And now what you can see is that the fundamentals are recovering, right? The S&P 500 is almost back at the previous highs. We also see a Coinbase Bitcoin premium again, which is good to see, and also yesterday at least a pretty big premium, so that's good to see as well. I'm saying yesterday, but this is of course at the end of the day in the United States. So that's good to see, and then we also get some more bullish headlines. It's almost certain we're going to get a rate cut in September, which was not certain before, so that's fundamentally also bullish. But then the question is that, all right, well, those fundamentals are slightly bullish. Volatility index, aka unrest, is also down, by the way. So it's quite likely that we're going to... What am I drawing here? But it's quite likely, I think, we're going to continue this, and we also have two major imbalances to the upside, one at 117.4, one at 116.4. It happens almost never that we do not fill at least the lower one, so that also works as a bit of a magnet. So I think a lot points towards getting a move into that level, but then reclaiming that level, I think that takes a lot of momentum, and I'm not certain, aka I don't think that we have that momentum to do that right now. So, spike up a little bit higher, it's all a possibility, but I do think that short term, after that move to the upside, which, like I said, I do still think that's most likely. Maybe we have to revisit the range lows here first, but okay. I do think that after that, we're going to drop back down into this range down here. And even though I have that short-term bullish bias, I think getting into that range right here is more likely here on the medium term. So those are my thoughts. I think that's most likely right now for Bitcoin. I will definitely keep you updated on that, and I'm also very interested to see how Bitcoin actually reacts at 116.4. If we get a very weak reaction there, we might be able to break through that with moderate momentum, and then all of a sudden it is a possibility. So I'll keep you updated on that, but for now I think that's what you need to know. So thank you for watching, take care, and bye.